Alright, welcome back everybody. Today is going to be a very interesting episode. Right now I got my dad on the panel and we're going to ask his opinion on a couple hot topics today. So I showed him a few videos of Andrew Tate and not just a few, but we watched a lot of his videos and interviews, and he's going to go ahead and let you guys know some of his thoughts on Andrew Tate. Albert, what'd you think about some of the videos that I showed you about Andrew?
So far, what I've seen and heard of him, he's a pretty badass man. Stand-up man that could do almost anything. And it's pretty amazing because he's trying to wake up some of these people that don't want to really do much and sit there in front of the TV and probably play games or I don't know what. But he's on the right track, and I'm 100% glad that somebody came out like that and spoke up and trying to wake up society. Just the way things are going. And I know there's a lot of hardworking men and women, but some of these boys that don't want, or young men that don't want to do nothing but play games, you got to listen to him.
Nice. So he's been getting a lot of backlash, obviously, and a lot of people don't like him out there. So far, what I showed you, have you seen, has he said anything that seems out of line to you, or is there anything that, that you feel like, is there any reason for people to hate him this much? Is that he's hated, or?
I didn't even think he was hated a lot, but yeah, I don't know why people hate him. I don't hear nothing wrong that he's saying at all.
So you agree with a lot of stuff?
I agree with a lot of the stuff he says.
Nice. And for me too, a lot of stuff he speaks to is it's a lot of people that don't like him, but I've noticed it's more of the newer generation, or they they're either too soft, or they can't take constructive criticism. Now, as far as that, what do you think as far as what he speaks out? What kind of resonated with you? What's something that he said that kind of like for you that was like, ah, dang, this guy's pretty bright?
I don't know, some of the stuff he said, like growing up without nothing when he was younger, him and his brother, is kind of sometimes I think people have to be maybe put through something like that to realize what he's talking about, and understand where he's coming from, because not growing up, not getting a handout or anything like that, it's tough, and this guy did it, and people that get it, and so it seems like they don't care, or they're always going to expect something. And I think the route and everything, the way he grew up and did things by fighting and doing whatever he had to do to get to the top, it took a lot. And I think a lot of men need to step up now and start seeing some of this man and seeing what he's about and what he's out to teach and learn from him. Yeah,
I honestly think he's probably one of the best things that's happened to the internet over the last 10 years. Off top, he's literally, the information he gives of value it's huge. He helps a lot of young. I advise any young teenager, any young man in their 20s to listen to his content, because for one, it's motivational, it's inspirational, and he speaks truth. And a lot of people that I notice, when you speak truth, it's almost like, oh, you're not supposed to say that, this and that. But we're living in a time that's got very soft, and people get their feelings hurt nowadays, and they're like, hey. But for me, I think he speaks valid facts, and sometimes, he might be extreme on a couple things, but at the same time, I think he's entertaining, and he puts out some very good content.
And it's valuable information, it's valuable. Who doesn't want to stay fit? Who doesn't want to have money? Who doesn't want to be a good fighter, to protect people or protect yourself, your family, anything. That just doesn't matter. You got to be good at everything.
Okay. Now let's go ahead and move on to another subject right now. I wanted to also discuss the Prince Harry situation. Okay, now Prince Harry released a book recently, right? And you know who Prince Harry is. And he put a book out, and he speaks in detail and about the royal family. He talks about all this stuff, and he's putting all their business out there. And also, he was next in line to be, I guess the King of England, or the King of England out there, and he refused. He does not want no part of it. What are your thoughts on that right there? For me, I think for him putting his family's business out there, especially being in the royal family, that was completely like a slap in the face. He should be ashamed of himself. I think it's disgusting that he's going that route, and the fact that he doesn't want to be the next in line, the next heir in line. I think it's ridiculous. If that was me, I'd want you to beat my ass. Like I don't know what the hell. Like, to me, he's a soft person that is. I don't know. He should be ashamed of himself. What do you think about all that?
I don't know. If it was up to me, everybody has different opinions, but if it was up to me, and that I would jump on it. I would want to be king. I would want to take over. I would want to have that power and see. Especially
that's your bloodline.
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at over the years, I mean, we look back at from Viking days when they were fighting Vikings and shit like that. These guys went through a lot of shit to conquer, and the fact that his bloodline, his great-grandparents or his ancestors went through all that shit, and his parents went through all that stuff to raise him, for him to come to a point and get married, and all of a sudden he completely capitulates from the whole thing. To me, it's ridiculous, and it shows what a pussy is. I hate to say it.
Well, like, everybody has opinions. He maybe doesn't want to take all the pressure and things that come with.
What do you mean the pressure, though?
Pressure, maybe being photographed. You can't go certain places. You might get kidnapped. Who knows what? And maybe I do not know.
So he has no honor.
He probably doesn't.
Also, what's irritating is the fact that he's putting all their business out there.
Yeah, I don't think he should do that.
That's completely like a slap in the face to the royal family. And then the fact that his wife. Seems like she controls a lot of him and stuff. So to me, it's like you let one hoe into the the royal family is fucked. Like, just completely, like, to me that was a big mistake. And the fact that he completely lets her control him is ridiculous. It just I think it's disgusting.
So do I. I don't like that one bit either. Hearing that, but it just. I hope he steps up and wakes up,
Hey. Now, what do you think about this new generation? Because obviously, you've been through some stuff. Now, a lot of you don't know my dad, but he comes from more of a poor background when he was younger and everything like that. He was raised, how many brothers and sisters did you have total?
There was 13 of us, but one of them died when she was young.
13. So,
yeah,
so
12 basically 12, because the little girl died when she was only like.
Now, did you guys grow up poor, middle class, or rich?
Poor. Above poor.
A little bit above poor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at least we had a car and clothes and.
But then again, you guys had a passion of drawing, and he wasn't even able to buy paper for you guys.
So we used to draw on paper bags. We used to fight over paper bags just to draw on them, because there was too many of us that wanted to draw. But we didn't even have sometimes share of pencils or whatever, But
so you've seen the process of generations come through, and you've seen the difference. For me, I've noticed a big change even within the last 15 to 20 years. What do you think about this new generation that's pretty much, you got men out there, they're in their 20s and grew up just literally playing video games and have no literally skills.
My dad's always been a hard worker. He worked 2 jobs practically his whole life. And he told me about 20 years ago, he goes, hey, the kids today, he goes, no sirven, that means that they're no good. And I guess he already saw the pattern changing,
Right. So they're not men, in other words, which
yeah, some of that man was gone.
A lot of them were raised as
men
boys.
too that go to do what they have to, like probably go fight the wars or whatever, and policemen getting killed. There's certain good men out there, but there's a lot of them that don't even give a rat's ass about just sitting there playing games all day. That invent something, become something, try something, get out there and give it ganas. That means give it all you can,
Right.
So if people would wake up and start, maybe better things will happen to this world, Start using your mind. Obviously times have changed, Times have changed, and you got different things. I mean, like you said, you got newer video games out. You got, we're living in different times, which is understandable. And I know there are guys out there that are doing big things at the same time, but it's also a very small percentage of guys.
because a lot of people that I do come across, I've realized, I mean, they're not motivated. They literally, after work, it's like, when I ask a lot of people after, what are y'all doing after work? Or what's your plans? A lot of them are like, I'm going to go home and watch Netflix. I'm going to go ahead and watch TV. I'm going to watch this episode. And I think to myself, who gives a fuck about Netflix, or who gives a shit about it?
You were telling me too about it. If you work one job, you're struggling. But if you work two, at least you're getting by, a little better. And sometimes you just got to find a way. Yeah, the way out a certain way. Maybe you might have to try that for a while to click with bringing in money or something. And then you may be able to take it easy a little here and there, but you got to find the way. Nowadays it's getting worse.
Yes, yeah. I remember that specific guy. It was actually author Brian Tracy. For those who know about Brian Tracy, he's a amazing, one of the best authors I've actually came across. I've read a lot of books. Probably one of the best speakers I've actually came across, and he's been around for years. Look up Brian Tracy. But one of the things that he said that I actually shared with him was, he says, those out there working 40 hours a week, that's bare minimum right there. That's just enough to get by. Anything past 40 hours a week is you're investing into your future. That's what it was, right?
Yeah,
as far as that.
Like, I saw my dad working 2 jobs all the time, so I figured, why not and try that, because I started seeing the people that work one job, and not just, to compare or anything, but I started seeing, like, some of them didn't care or whatever. They just lived check by check, and I didn't want to live like that. I didn't. I don't think that was even...
if you don't mind you telling, what age were you at when you retired?
47.
47 years old, this man retired. So I take a lot of my dad's advice. He's a wise guy. Of course, he's made mistakes and stuff when he was younger and in the past and different stuff like that. But who doesn't? But for him to retire at 47 years old, I yet have come across anybody really that's, got to that point of retiring at 47 years old. So my dad always, took a lot of his advice. And one of the things that I remember my dad always telling me, and when I was younger as a kid, it didn't resonate with me, because as a kid you think, dang, I got unlimited time. I got as much time as possible. I'm still young. I could do this. But one thing that you told me that I remember was, because I used to always tell you, I want to be rich. Do you remember me always, even as a kid, I always say, I want to be rich. I want to be rich.
You still say
and that. I still say it. I still say it, and I will be. I will conquer.
Let's hope.
And the biggest thing was, you said, was you need to take advantage now. If you want to be rich, you said, you have to do it now. You have to take advantage of the time now, because once you get a job and all that stuff, your time's cut in half. And then once you get in a relationship, that time gets cut in half again. And then once you get kids, that time gets cut in half again. And the time that you got to put in to become a millionaire it's a pretty obsessive amount of hours. And for me, when you used to tell me that, I used to be like, well, I got plenty of time. But as I got older, everything he said came true. So it was crazy. So I take a lot of advice from my dad, and I appreciate the advice that you gave me over the years. And I'm really glad to have you up on my show today.
One more thing, it's not bad to play video games, but minimize it. Break your day down like a pie. Hey, I'm using this to work out. I'm using this time, and start seeing the time, and it goes. You stay pretty busy. You'll be happier, because you're always looking for that next day for some excitement or something to come out of it. And that's the best advice I could give you.
Nice. I want to say, before we end this out, I want to make sure, if you guys like this episode and you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a thumbs up. Drop a comment. Every single person that puts a comment, I do reply. It may take me a day, maybe take me 2 days, but I will reply to every single comment. And if you really, really thoroughly enjoyed this comment, if you really enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and share this video. So, any last words, Albert?
No.
Pops?
I'm okay.
All right. Well, y'all have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you guys tune in on the next video. Nice.